Warning: this podcast may contain graphic violence, sexual themes, and bad language. If our language offends you, we apologize, but we do not give a fuck. Be mindful of your kids listening.
The Evil Never Dies podcast.
What's up, evil ones? Thanks for listening to the Evil Never Dies podcast. I'm Brett here with Carl. What's going on, man?
Well, they stopped the marching band, I guess, so you shouldn't hear drums anymore. We had a marching, I guess the Carter Riverside marching band was going around somewhere. Maybe they're doing Christmas shit. I don't know.
Is it a parade?
I don't know. I ain't no Christmas spirit, period.
You're bah humbug?
Yeah, that's why I'm going to be playing the Krampus tomorrow at Moxley Manor Haunted House in Bedford, Texas.
Yeah, that's.
I will be Krampus.
We're
Krampus.
We're definitely gonna have some pictures of that.
Krampus or Krampus? I don't fucking know.
Krampus. I like Krampus better, but I think it's Krampus.
Krampus. I think it's Krampus. It's German.
Is it pronounced Krampus?
I think it's Krampus.
I don't know.
I don't care. I don't care.
It'll be a good time. I'm gonna go hang out too, man.
So tonight we don't have a subject, and it's not really a free-for-all. It's just kind of a fuck I don't know.
Talk shit kind of thing.
We ought to call it just the fuck I don't know show. I don't know. I'm actually drinking hot chocolate tonight, not whiskey.
Hot chocolate. It's been warm, but it's been like shitty the last
It's been
like
shitty,
week.
yeah.
Just
Oh,
blah, you
pop.
know.
I'm popping my neck here on live on the whatever this is. Radio.
It would be
TV.
really loud.
I don't
So
know.
yeah, we're just talking smack tonight,
Yeah.
basically. Went to Juliet's first Christmas thing tonight. That was fun.
That's cool.
Yeah, she did a good job. They made them all individual T-shirts with their handprints and their names on it, and pretty cool. So,
Well, I'm totally without earphones and earplugs now, so hopefully it sounds better than it did the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, with the new mic, it sounds richer. It's a richer sound with the mic, I think.
Good. I finally found a place for the mic where it's not like in the middle of everything. You can barely notice it now.
You know, you put your mic,
Majiggler.
your majiggler.
Yeah.
Your mic condom.
It's a majiggler.
Oh.
So yeah, tomorrow we will be open at Moxley Manor. Of course, by the time you hear this, it will have been yesterday. We were at Moxley Manors as we tape on Friday night. So
Yep.
I'll post again. I'll put a posting on the group page tonight. Do we even have any listeners that live in this area?
We got some. Yeah,
state.
we got a couple up in Plano, I know.
Okay.
And
everybody I know lives out of state or out of country or out of continent.
Out of continent. Yeah, I think last year we had 18 different countries that listened to us all together.
Something like that.
That was just on Spotify, so I don't really know what the total is from the audio boom. I'll have to look that up. So
look it up someday.
Have you looked up Metallica tickets for Arlington?
I've looked it up, but I don't really know if I'm seeing the actual prices or if I'm seeing people scalpers selling shit.
Or are you looking on StubHub when you look?
I don't know what I'm looking. I'm looking at
Joe Blow seats. How much are they a ticket?
You want me to look right now?
Yeah. I want to know. I'm curious. I haven't even looked yet.
The marching band's back.
Oh no, I haven't even looked.
Well, fuck. My Ticketmaster app is not on the iPad. I'm sitting here using this fancy iMac, but yet I use an iPad to look everything up because it annoys me looking at the computer like this. Because since we're on YouTube, if we weren't on YouTube, it wouldn't bother me. I got to keep my thing going on here. Okay, Metallica. We're gonna look it up, and let's talk about the single that just came out of nowhere. What is about 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, a couple weeks ago, man. It's just like it. Boom! It was. They just didn't. There wasn't no warning or nothing. It was just.
No, they didn't warn anybody. They just said, "Here you go, video and song."
Yep.
I dig the song. It sounds like
I do too, man.
Like Ride the Lightning meets modern Hetfield singing. I mean, let's face it. Hetfield didn't really sing back then. He was a thrash singer or whatever you call a thrash person. Now he actually can sing.
Yep. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it sounds good. I have a lot of hope for the new album.
Yeah, it comes out.
Guitar solo's badass in it.
What's that?
The guitar solo is really badass.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I've been listening. I've listened to it probably about 10 times now, and I like it.
Yeah,
more and more every time I listen to it. So,
okay, we got Metallica tickets pulled up now. This is at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, home of the Dallas Cowboys, I might add. For 400 section, which is the top of the stadium. 450.
Oh, no way.
Huh?
That's
no. The section is 450.
Oh, okay.
Row 22 seats are $181. This is on Ticketmaster. Now, granted,
where are them seats at? They're nosebleed seats?
Yeah, they're at the top of the stadium.
Oh, man.
But so this is for 2 nights. You get to go to both nights.
Oh, really?
So I can't say that these tickets are that expensive, being you get to go to 2 nights.
Oh, that's for both nights?
Both nights.
How much are down a little closer?
When you go down a little closer, they go up to $900.
Ooh, how close is that? How close?
Basically right on the this right below above the floor. Floor general admission is nope, that's the wrong thing. Hold on, let me reset my stuff. Floor general fuck this thing. Get rid of section 403.
403.
Yeah. Floor general admission is showing to be $1,000.
Ooh.
$1,000.
Yeah.
Now let's look over here in the end zones this is where my friend sits for season tickets. Now those are $250. $225 actually.
For both nights? That ain't bad.
It's not terrible, man. That's end zone. So it's a round concert. What do they call it? In the round. So
yeah,
the stage will be in the middle.
Yep, and it turns around and goes in a circle.
Now, do note that the end zone tickets, you cannot see the big screen. You know, AT&T's got like the largest TV in the world or whatever. Well, that's only for the stadium part. When you get in the end zones, you get a little or smaller TV. So you won't see a big screen in the end zone. But if you sit up in section 415, which is row 12, seats are $287 for 2 nights.
Why are the end zone ones cheaper?
Because it's more of a, like I said, you don't see the big screen.
They probably consider that like a restricted view, maybe.
It is, yeah. So there you go. That's for 2 nights. You get 2 sets of Metallica.
Ice Nine Kills, and who's the other band opening the first night, or is it the first night? Yeah, Pantera is playing.
That is not Pantera.
Well,
that
whatever.
is Phil Anselmo and a bunch of dick suckers.
That's what they're calling it, though.
Well, that's because the estate of Vinnie Paul said they could. Yeah. The estate of Vinnie Paul and Bry Dog, I'm sure you'll never listen to this, but if you are, you're a piece of shit. Pure and simple. Because you know that Vinny would not approve of this shit. So, fuck you, Bry Dog. I don't give a fuck what you think or say. That's my view, and that's exactly how I feel. This is not no Pantera reunion. This is not no Pantera anything. This is a money grab. And I'm just absolutely appalled that Zakk Wylde is a part of this. I didn't think Zakk was that low, but apparently he is.
Yeah, I've always thought that a reunion is all original members, which that could never happen in this circumstance.
Well, I saw you actually put a quote on Facebook, and it was one of Vinny's quotes.
Yep. I seen a video today where he said that.
Yeah. And you also said something about you can't live in the past.
Yep.
Vinny and Daryl could have easily replaced Phil and Rex, for that matter, and continued Pantera with a different singer. They did not, because they had too much respect for the Pantera brand.
Yep.
Instead, they gave us Damage Plan. And Vinny said, you know, that a lot of the fans were pissed off about that. They didn't want Damage Plan. They wanted Pantera. You know, when you give, his exact quote was something like, you know, when you give people Pepsi their whole life, and then you come out with Diet Riot and say, hey, this is the new drink. You know, some people are like, fuck that. You know, they sit around here for years waiting on Phil Anselmo to get his shit together and come back. But instead, Phil talks crap in a magazine about how Daryl needed to be beat severely and all that shit. I'm bringing up the past, but I don't appreciate Phil Anselmo, period, for anything. And, you know, Vinny told him on video, you know, you'll have to live with it the rest of your life. And Phil's response was, well, now, Vince, if my time becomes before your time, then blah, 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 blah. Well, now Vinny's gone, and the fucking heroin addict's running around claiming he's in Pantera. So fuck all that. Matter of fact, I would not go to the Metallica thing just because of that fiasco. Unless I showed up late. I wouldn't mind seeing Metallica again. So I'm on the I'm running my mouth here about this fake Pantera reunion. I don't care. This is the opinions of me and me alone. I don't represent anybody other than myself. And that's my views on it. If people don't like it, tough.
Tough shit.
That's how I feel.
Well, I just...
and I'm not going to sit here and say that I was friends with Vinnie Paul. I was not his friend. I knew Vinny. I've been at Vinny's house many times. I hung out with Vinny. But Vinny and me weren't buddies. I didn't talk to him on the phone. You know, he knew a lot of the people in the local metal scene. Same thing with Daryl. You know, I wasn't buddies with Daryl. I wasn't friends. I have no idea what Daryl's opinion of this would be. I know what Vinny's was because he said it many times, and you can look on YouTube and find it. I mean, if the roles were reversed and God forbid Vinny had died that night instead of Daryl, would Daryl have got back with Phil and Rex? He might have. I have no idea. We can't change what happened has happened.
Yeah.
And the fact is, this is not a reunion of Pantera.
Exactly.
This is some tribute act, I guess. I don't know. The fact is this, the band was the brothers. It was the Abbott brothers.
Yep.
It was not Phil Anselmo. That fucker didn't join until, what, 87, 86? I don't fucking know. He came from New Orleans. He was not a part of this thing in the beginning.
Yeah. How'd they even find him?
I know the story, but I don't remember it well enough to tell it. I don't want to give out falsehoods.
Yeah.
But I do semi know the story. I know a lot of the.
Wasn't he in a different band or something? They heard.
Yeah, well, when he came to town, Phil was into the heavy shit. Pantera was not. They were a glam rock band. More power metal maybe at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wish you could get
what I was saying. I'm sorry.
I wish you could get them earlier Pantera albums on Apple, man.
They won't put them out. Vinny wouldn't put them out.
Yeah.
If Terry, the original lead singer, I don't think he has any say so in it, but most of us have them. I mean, I've got them. They're bootlegs of CDs, but I have the cassette. Matter of fact, it used to sit right here on the shelf. I think it might have. I don't know where it went, but it was sitting there on the shelf here for the first year of the show. It was which one was it? I forget which one, but I have a cassette, an original cassette.
So they had 3 albums before they even put out Cowboys to Hell, didn't they? Or was it 3 or 2?
3. Power Metal actually came out with Phil on it.
Yeah.
And that
one ain't even on iTunes, is it?
They were never released as big label releases. They did until so technically Vinny, I don't think really considered Pantera started until Cowboys from Hell. I mean, yeah, there was a Pantera. Actually, I've looked it up here. There was Metal Magic, which was in 1983. I Am the Night, 1985. Projects in the Jungle, which is the one I got on cassette, which was 84. And then Power Metal followed, and then they got signed to Atlantic.
So they had 4 before Cowboys from Hell.
Power Metal came out in 1988. And I remember as a kid, high school kid, being in the music stores locally around here, the record stores, music stores, whatever we called them back then. And there was a poster for Power Metal. I was going through all the posters and I'm like, hey, that's Pantera. Those are the local guys. They that's cool. They got a poster. I wish the hell I would have bought that poster, but at the time, I was like, I don't know.
What was it? Well, like
it was like
promo poster in the store.
It was before they were ever signed.
Huh.
They were, I mean, they played in this area forever before they got signed to a label.
Yep. About like Aska,
Yeah. Well, they played the Savvy's and Joe's Garage, and Savvy's later became known as Club Mongo, which was owned by Mongo Smith, a buddy of ours, who sings your theme song, by the way. Who's Your Bubba? I got to get you that song.
I've never heard that.
Aska sort of played the same, they were playing Joe's Garage, and at the end, that Pantera played there every Friday night. They were like the house band.
Yeah.
So I just have a lot of resentment over, I had no problem when Phil was running around touring, doing the Pantera tribute. I thought that was actually fucking cool. I would have probably even considered going to see it. He was just calling it Phil Anselmo and the Illegals doing, a tribute to Pantera. I would have probably went and saw that if they would have played somewhere other than Trees. But there's the difference. Phil Anselmo by himself, he's playing the clubs. Calling it Pantera, he's off touring with Metallica.
Yeah.
It's a money grab. I'm sorry. I know that's what the music business is, especially in 2022, is touring. You can't sell albums anymore.
They're trying to make up because they were fucked because of the pandemic.
Yes.
They're trying to make up, man. Everybody fucking went broke.
But I mean, I just know how Vinny felt about this.
Well, did many interviews where he said it.
Did. He had no interest in doing a reunion with Phil and Rex. And if he would have known that this was going to happen, I don't think he would have left his interest to the people he left it to.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think ever in his mind he would have thought that his people would have betrayed his legacy the way they have.
Well,
and again, if people don't like what I'm saying, I fucking turn the shit off. I don't give a fuck. I've came on this thing from day one, giving my opinion, and I don't cut no slack. I'm not fake and I'm not a phony. I'm not going to kiss anybody's ass except for Kiss. I will kiss their ass. That's a different story. I will kiss Kiss's ass.
You got them lips all over Gene's nutsack.
Yeah. Yeah. I will kiss Kiss's ass. I just don't cut slack, you know. I just how I am with the music business. You know, when you first said you wanted to start this and you said, well, we'll do album reviews. And I'm like, well, the problem is I'm not really into albums. I'm more into bands and the songs. Yep. And you've kind of found that out, I think. You know, I'm more into the history and the politics of the bands than I am the individual albums sometimes.
Exactly.
And I mean, yeah, I was lucky, very lucky to have got to hang out with Daryl and Vinny at separate times of their lives. Because before Damage Plan got started, Daryl used to come play with Aska just about every show they played. He'd come hang out and
he'd get up on videos, and play,
and we just had a blast. Monte Carlo's in Arlington. It was this freaking little dive bar in a shopping center. That's
sometimes them are the best bars, dude.
Well, the thing is, Daryl lived in Dalworthington Gardens, and Aska was playing Arlington back then mostly, and Daryl Jay Gilligan's. It's documented. I'm not making this shit up. You can look on YouTube. Dan McNew, our friend, he took video of it all. You'll see me in the crowd. I was there. I really was.
I think I posted a video that I think I shared it on the group page.
But no, I'm never going to try to play like I was like their best friends. I was not. I was an acquaintance just from the local metal scene. I always treated those guys just like anybody. Yep. You know, I don't have a lot of pictures. I don't have a lot of signed stuff because I never wanted to disrespect the fact they were in their hometown enjoying themselves. Not to be battered or fucked with by, you know, in their hometown.
Yep. Exactly.
I mean, I got what was it? It was the Damage Plan release party. It was at the clubhouse. They were signing CDs. I've got the CD totally signed by everybody. That was appropriate because it was a CD release.
Yep. I hear you.
I've got that. It's over on the wall over there. I would go get it, but I don't have my earphones on anymore. I got them to sign a DVD one time. They were somewhere hanging out doing something. So I've got a few things that's signed by them, but I was never going to pester those guys. I felt bad one night because, you know, my friend David's not much into the rock music scene, but he'd go to Jay Gilligan's with me, and Daryl was just standing in the corner alone by himself. And I was like, hey, Daryl. And he's like, hey, man, what's up, brother? You know, and I said, I just wanted you to meet my friend David. And David was like, shook out his hand. How you doing there, sir? And Daryl looked at me and I looked at Daryl, and Daryl was like, dude, what the fuck? And I'm like, David kind of looked like, did I do something wrong? I said, I don't think Daryl's used to being called sir very much. That's kind of not how we talk around here. He was Diamond Daryl to me. Yeah. I don't know where the whole dime bag shit came from. Diamond fucking Daryl was who I knew. Not Dime Bag. Dime Bag is the name once they become this thrash outfit. And Diamond Daryl was too glammy, I guess. But no, Rex used to be Rex Rocker.
Rex Rocker?
Yeah, I don't know. I never was around Rex, honestly. I just the few times I'd see him play locally before they were ever anything. You know, and no, you know, nobody knew that Pantera was going to blow up and be the biggest band in the world back then in the clubs. Nobody did. Everybody, you know, like my friend Russ Rojas used to work for Pantera. And when Terry left, Terry Glaze, who ended up being the singer of Lord Tracy's, he went with Terry because he thought that Terry was going to blow up and get huge because he's a very talented singer and a really good guy. And Lord Tracy's a really cool band. They never reached the Pantera level, though. But, you know, I mean, nobody can sit here and say that, oh, yeah, I was friends with them and I knew they were going to get big. Disciple. They could have blew up, and it just happened. It just happened. They worked their asses off in the clubs. They were a high school together playing. They were playing in garages, for God's sakes.
Yeah,
they
parties and shit.
And did Phil Anselmo bring something to the table? Yes, he did. I will never deny that. Phil brought them to where they got to. There's no denying that. And I'll never take that away from Phil.
Yeah.
Regardless of how I feel about him or my thoughts of him. So that's my Pantera bandwagon.
So did you see the videos of the Mexican show that they did down there in Mexico?
I didn't even look at them.
Sounded pretty fucking good, dude.
I heard Phil's voice is sounding really good, but Phil's finally, he fought a lot of demons.
You can still tell that it's Zakk Wylde playing the guitar, though.
Of course you can.
Yeah.
Phil fought a lot of demons. And, he had major back pain and ended up being hooked on heroin. And that's what caused the rift between the brothers and Phil. They were anti-drug. They drank like fucking, I ain't ever seen anybody drink like those two, but they weren't drug addicts. And they were very unhappy to find out that their lead singer was a heroin addict.
Yeah, they didn't even really smoke weed, I don't think.
Nah. They were drinkers.
Yep.
And I am lucky to say I got to drink with Vinny many a time. And I saw him passed out in his chair many a time.
Oh. That would have been fucking cool, man. You lucky bastard.
But that's my little rant. I don't like this Pantera. Well, Charlie, whatever the fuck his name is, Bernardi, is claiming, well, this isn't a reunion, it's a tribute. They're calling it Pantera. They're not calling it a tribute to Pantera. They're calling it Pantera. So if you call a tiger a tiger, he's
all
a
the
fucking
entities
tiger.
that be are getting that money.
If you call a tiger, he's a fucking tiger. If you call him a lion, then there you go. This is called Pantera. It's fucking the Pantera logo. I'm not gonna get into that. I ain't even gonna go there. But I'm sorry. It's something I don't approve of and I will not support. I have too much respect for the Abbott brothers and the legacy that Pantera held to support this thing.
Well, that's the thing. That's what it was. It was a legacy, man.
It was a legacy.
They
were the biggest fucking heavy metal band in the world, man, and lived right here in, Arlington, Texas, even though I'm in Fort Worth, but you know what I mean?
Yep.
And they used to hang out at the clubs. They were just normal guys. They had the clubhouse over in Dallas, the strip club that everybody hung out at. And every rock star, every band that came to Fort Worth or Dallas, you went to the clubhouse and hung out with the brothers. That was just ritual. That was, I remember one night, I got a call from Bob. He's like, hey, are you awake? I'm like, barely. He's like, well, you ought to come out to the clubhouse. Chris Jericho is going to be here tonight. And I'm like, oh, really? And I didn't go. I should have went, but I didn't want to drive all the way to Dallas. Everybody went to the clubhouse. It was the happening place. And
where was that at in Dallas?
Over kind of close to that Amplified Live place. It was on the other side on Manana Drive.
Okay.
When Vinny passed, the place was gone by the end of the year. It was gone.
Really?
I mean, Vinny did not own that place. He had partners. He did not own the clubhouse. He was a partner in it, but he was the operating partner, I guess, because once Vinny was gone, the place was gone. You couldn't have had it without Vince. It just wasn't the clubhouse.
Huh.
But you were talking about Seventh
Seventh Void, man.
Seventh Void. They had the CD release.
If I would have known that, man, I would have just had you on the fucking midweek fucking show, dude.
Yeah. I didn't know you was gonna review that album.
I know. I need to start telling you shit. I just listened to something and I'm like, well, I ain't heard that in a while. I'm gonna listen to the whole thing and do the midweek on it. That's the way I roll with that. So
Yeah. But yeah, the CD release was at the Clubhouse, and it was a fun time. That was when Big Vin Records was first going.
Did you get that CD signed?
Yes, I did.
Oh man,
It's over here in my. I think I got 2 of them actually. I'll have to look.
really?
I may have gave the second one to somebody. I don't know. I had 2 of them. I know. Johnny Kelly, yeah, they all signed it. It's over here in my stuff. I'll look one of these days. One of these years, I'm going to organize my CDs. I mean, I don't play them anymore. They're just here for looks. They're just a collector's item now, but I won't ever get rid of them.
Johnny Kelly, he lives here in DFW, don't he?
I don't know. Probably, maybe. I don't know.
I think he lives in Dallas.
He might. I don't really know, honestly. I'm not going to lie and say that I know that.
When he's not touring, he's always touring though. He's drumming for Quiet Riot right now.
Quiet Riot, yeah.
So
he's a damn good drummer. He
is
his
very,
due.
very, very, very underrated drummer.
Very underrated. He is.
He's probably in my top 10 drummers.
But yeah, they were one of the Big Vin Records artists, along with Mongo Smith's band, Hillbilly Orchestra. Daryl promised Mongo that he was gonna get him signed to a record deal. And when Daryl passed away, Vinny kept that promise and he put him on Big Vin Records, and the album came out. And they also released a Christmas CD. It was Jerry, that Vinny and Daryl's dad wanted that out. It was some lady. I just remember we had a box of those things, and I was giving everybody Christmas CDs.
Oh wow!
And of course, Rebel Meets Rebel. I think that came out on Big Vin Records. Yeah. I'm not sure.
I think so. When I was looking at that, that's a cool album, man. That Rebel.
It was okay. It was okay.
It's different.
It is different.
It's dirty.
It is.
What else do you expect out of Co, though?
Yeah, see, my mom actually, she used to be a bartender back in the day at Rustler's Rest, where a lot of those country guys would pass through. And she hated David Allan Coe. She said that guy was just a bad guy.
Yeah.
She said they used to now Rustlers. This is just local Riverside lore, which is true. Rustlers was located on Eagle Drive and Belknap, where there's a used car lot now. And I guess a lot of the Waylon Jennings and a lot of these guys used to go over to Sylvania Park and smoke pot.
Oh yeah,
and do whatever else country outlaw guy. They weren't outlaws then; they were still just country guys.
When was this? Like back 60s or
60s? Yeah, 70s maybe 60s, before they all got so big. My dad used to have the house band at Rustler's Rest.
Really?
Sure did.
Well, that's cool. They ever get any of them signatures from them guys or?
No, those guys, my dad was bigger than they were back then.
Really?
We do got a book that Willie wrote like in the 80s, and he sent it to my mom and dad. I've got it in my bookshelf.
Willie Nelson?
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome, dude.
I've told that story that Willie, my dad fired him from Todd's Western Club.
Really?
I've told you that story.
I don't think so. I don't think I've heard it.
I've told that story 1,000 times. Now, my dad used to have a club in the stockyards called Todd's Western Club, and I guess Willie was playing for him, and he said Willie wouldn't draw a crowd, so he fired him.
Really? Wow.
I think Willie remembered that because Willie wasn't very fond of my dad and B.D. Griffin. B.D. was my dad's best friend, and he also happened to be one of the best fiddle players in the world, and he was also a county commissioner.
Huh.
So BD and my dad tried to get When Billy Bob's first opened, Willie played there, and they were trying to get backstage. Willie wouldn't take their calls. I guess they had my mom call, and he got on the phone.
Because they fired him.
Hello, Kathy.
Because they fired him before.
Maybe, I don't know. But I remember Billy English, who's the I lost track from it. Billy English was actually Paul English was the drummer for Willie Nelson. I know this isn't rock, this isn't metal and rock, but it's still fun. Well, my dad was friends with his brother Oliver English, and they were in bands together. And one of my dad's friends, Tommy Rosanowski, told me many times, yeah, I got Paul that damn job with Willie. And I'm like, what? He's like, I could have been Willie's drummer, but I just said, Paul, you take that job. I don't want to drum for him. Well, one of the guys had passed away, Charlie Owens, and I took Rosanowski and my dad to the funeral because it was pretty far away. So I drove them there. They were older by then, and Paul English was there, and he said, Tommy Rosanowski, and he said, you know what? Thank you for getting me that job 50 years ago.
Really?
So yeah, Rosanowski is telling the truth. He actually got Paul English the drumming job.
Wow.
Well, Paul's little brother, actually he's his big boy, but little brother, Billy English, my mom used to babysit him. He was younger. And he used to come to the American Legion when I was in high school. And he played percussion for the Willie Nelson's band all those years. And he would talk to me about music all the time.
Really?
And then I'd see him on TV and I'm like, look, I know him. That's cool.
Wow.
And Paul passed away a few years ago. And I guess Billy took over the full-time drumming gig for Willie. So that's kind of fun story. Some of my country music ties, I guess.
I fucking love Willie Nelson, man. How can you not love Willie, man?
I like Waylon better.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and say I listen to that old country a lot, but if I were forced to, I would listen to Waylon Jennings and Johnny Cash and George Jones because those guys were good.
Johnny Cash ever come there?
Yeah, my dad said Johnny Cash he didn't like him. He didn't like a lot of those guys.
Really?
He said all Johnny Cash had was that goddamn bass, boop, boop, boop. He said anybody could do that shit. My dad liked the generation. Well, those guys were about, his age range. He liked like Hank Snow and what was that guy? I can't even think of the Johnny. I can't think of their names. It's been so long. But he liked the generation before. That was sort of his, idols, I guess. He felt Johnny Cash and Waylon were just kind of like whatever.
Too hardcore for him.
No, he just thought he didn't like that whole outlaw country thing.
Yeah.
He told me once, he says, I don't know how in the hell Willie Nelson with that shitty voice of his sells the records he does.
Oh, really?
Is Willie don't have a great voice?
No, it's sort of
tingy.
Sort of tingy twangy. Yeah.
Willie made it on his image.
Yeah. Yeah.
Willie was a good front man. And he was a damn fucking good songwriter. Still is. Yep. He wrote Hello Walls for and what was it? There's a lot of songs Willie wrote before he was big. He would have been famous as a songwriter if he'd have never gotten big as a singer.
That's what I hear, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how he got on Willie Nelson.
I don't either.
Yeah. Waylon and Willie were some real bona fide outlaws, so I'm sure they saw some evil never dies in their day.
Yeah, for sure, man. I bet they've seen a lot.
Yeah. But that's the story on that.
What else you got?
I don't know. I've already ratted a bunch of shit out tonight, didn't I? I can just tell stories.
You don't have the Netflix, do you?
I can obtain Netflix for right now.
Oh, you did?
I've got somebody's password.
Oh, you're stealing.
Actually, I was watching the Wednesday show.
Have you watched it?
I watched the whole thing from start to finish. That's the only thing I wanted to watch on there. Now I'm thinking about getting a Netflix account.
It's really good,
I want to watch that Jeffrey Dahmer show.
That was
Wednesday
good
was
too,
bad
dude.
effing ass. I love that show.
Yeah, the Wednesday was really good, man.
It was very good.
I quite enjoyed it. Yeah.
She was a dark little girl.
Yeah, she was. Yep.
Yeah, that's a show I recommend. I mean, it wasn't what I expected because it was actually more serious.
Yeah, it
You
was
know,
like a whodunit like thing, you know.
yeah, but it wasn't
But
really.
with
I mean,
demons and shit, you know.
it had the Addams Family feel to it, but
Yeah.
it was even more serious than the movies were. It was a serious show.
Best thing Tim Burton's done in a long time, man.
It sort of reminded me a little bit of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
A little bit, yeah.
It had a little bit of humor, dark
Yep.
humor, but it had a lot of seriousness to it too.
Yep.
But very dark, very Tim Burton-y. He
Mhm.
kind of made a comeback with that. I'll give him credit.
And everybody in the whole show does a good. All the actors and actresses do an awesome job in it for sure.
Yeah, I think it's already been renewed for a season 2, so
Well, it doesn't surprise me.
something to look forward to in 2024. Yeah, I would give that show.
You mean 2023.
2024. It's gonna take them a while.
It's gonna take 2 years.
I guess.
Shit, I bet they already got season 2 done.
I would give that show like a 4.5 star.
Yeah,
review.
me too, for sure, man. Yeah,
There were some cheesy parts to it, but other than that, it was done well.
Yep. Well, they had different directors. Tim Burton didn't direct all of them, all the episodes. They had 2 or 3 different directors.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. I think he only directed half of them. The rest were directed by somebody else. Was there 9?
Whoever did it, they did a good job. And she was great as Wednesday.
Yeah, she was.
And Christina Ricci was really good in her role too.
Yeah, she was. I didn't even know it was her till like the 2nd episode.
I figured it out like immediately. I'm like, hey, she's got red hair.
Sort of reminded me of what's her name off of Scooby-Doo? Velma or whatever.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to give any spoilers, but if you have Netflix, watch it. If you don't, I might say get Netflix for a month if that's all you can really afford
get
for
that,
it.
If you get that. I think they got a 30-day trial. I don't if
They do.
They used to. I don't know if they do anymore.
They got a paid thing coming now where you can watch commercials or something. But I want to watch the Dahmer shit. It's supposedly good. I don't know.
I watched it. It's a trip, dude. That was really well done too.
Well, Netflix might have turned the curb here, maybe. I don't know.
That guy that plays Dahmer, what's his name? He was in all them American Horror Story shows. Shit, I can't think of his name on the tip of my tongue, but anyway, he did an tremendous job as Dahmer, man.
Yeah, I may have to check that out while I still have this password.
That's definitely binge worthy. It's gonna rain tomorrow, so.
Well, I'll be at Moxley tomorrow, so
tomorrow night. Yeah. I gotta do my break Sunday, so
again.
My rear ones, I had to wait for the parts to come in, man. Parts are on shortage.
Oh, of course.
So I had to wait for the parts to come in.
Yawned.
That hot chocolate getting to you?
I don't know. I think I'm just tired. It's been a long ass week at work.
Yes, it has, man. Yes,
it was a shitty week.
Yeah. But yeah. That's why I'm having a cocktail. I needed it after this week. I say that every week, don't I?
You say that every week.
I have a fucked up week every week.
Seems that way.
Seems like something's always going fucking wrong. Jesus. Can a motherfucker get ahead for a week?
No.
The tire or brakes or fucking something, man.
It's something.
Well, you got anything else to talk about, Carl?
I think that's a good thing. I probably went on people probably gonna be a little mad over my Pantera rant, but I just don't care.
Hey, man.
That's why I'm just a contributor. That way, if I get kicked off, then no big loss.
You ain't fucking going nowhere, man. I couldn't do this shit without you.
You do the midweeks without me.
Yeah, I wasn't too happy with this last one though.
No, I wish I'd have known you were doing that. I think we could have put on a good show.
Yeah, I need to start letting you in on the. When I find out what I'm going to actually do it on, I'll text you and say, "Hey, I know you
90%.
I know you take your lunch. You take your lunch at 11, so I know I can text you at 11.
Everybody
and
knows I take my lunch at 11. Everybody who knows me, yeah.
I know you'll text me back
at 11.
We've had many
noon.
conversations between 11 and 12.
That's yeah. I usually get about 10 or 12 texts between the hours of 11 and 12 from everybody I know.
Sometimes we could fucking do a episode of the podcast just from the texting we're doing back and forth.
That's probable.
Well, all right, everybody.
Very probable.
I guess that's our bullshit session for tonight.
Yeah, we had nothing planned, so
it's
not even really a free for all. It's just kind of a fuck
it
the
is
world
what it
session.
is episode.
I guess. I don't know.
That's what I'm going to call it. The is what it is episode.
I was going to get more into Metallica, but then you had me look up the tickets, and then I got on the Pantera rant.
Yeah, I don't know about the $250, man.
As it gets closer, I don't know. I would love to see Metallica one last time.
I would too. I think that would be cool, especially if this album's awesome. That would be awesome. I think it's going to be a good album. Just from
I do too.
single.
We'll get more into Metallica here on another episode. Give them a little bit of love since I've made peace with Lars. Me and Lars no longer hate each other, so I'd actually kind of I was really happy with Phil Anselmo. One of the local guys had passed away, and Phil came and did a show for him, and I was really happy that he did that. So I thought I'd sort of made peace with Phil, but yeah, I don't know.
Who was that? Who passed away?
Shit, I can't even think of the name right offhand now.
From rigor mortis.
Rigor mortis. Okay. That was the rigor mortis. I can't think of his name offhand. I was never.
What is his name? Bruce
Corbett. I can't believe I forgot his name. I was never a big rigor mortis fan. They were just way out there for me.
Yeah, they're like thrash death metal.
They were.
I'd
been around him before, but I never was in the crowd with him really. He was a whole different audience.
Yeah.
But he had passed away, and Phil came and did a benefit, and I thought that was really cool of him. He remembered his local roots there, and that's really cool. I think Phil's changed. I think he's really become a good guy now.
Since he got off the dope.
Pantera reunions, regardless, I think Phil's really come a long way and fought a lot of these demons and has got himself into a good place, and for that I'm happy. I'm very
hard
happy.
To do, man. It's hard to get off that shit.
So I'm going to give Phil Anselmo lots of credit for turning his life around and being at peace with himself. That's sometimes what you need in life. If you can find peace with yourself.
That's what I've done, man.
So I got to give Phil, I'm changing my tune on that. A lot of credit for that, but I just don't want to support this Pantera thing.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. So.
Well, that's all we got.
Michael Myers.
That's it. You can see Michael on the new camera a little bit.
Yeah, you can. You can see his face. All right, everybody. Well, check us out on the social medias, on the YouTube. Buy us a cup of coffee. I put everything in the show notes. Thanks for listening to us ramble on about random bullshit. And check out some merch if you want some merch. Got some two-sided shirts now.
Two-sided shirts. I'm not buying no more shirts. You've gimmicked me into death.
You're our best customer, Carl Todd.
Oh, fuck that.
All right,
Can't
everybody.
even get a free shirt from this show. What kind of bullshit is that?
Still working on it, man. Still working on it. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening and stay evil, everybody.